So today is the first class on finite element methods in civil engineering, and we will begin with review of few of the concepts. Begin. Now I want one of you to tell me what do you understand by degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Let us say this is a rigid jointed frame. Let us name it A here, B, C, and D. So can you tell me what do you understand by degree of kinematic indeterminacy for this frame? Anyone? So we denote degree of kinematic indeterminacy by D suffix K. Can anyone tell me what is the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of this frame? Unmute yourself and tell me.
3.
3. And what should I list under this degree of kinematic indeterminacy?
Theta B, theta C,
Theta
and delta C.
B, then
Theta
theta C,
C,
and
delta C.
delta. Okay. So far, so good. Let me ask you few questions. Why have you not listed delta B and delta C separately? Why can't I say delta B as a separate entity and delta C as a separate entity?
Because BC is rigid, infinitely rigid.
If the frame is rigid, तो analysis का कोई मतलब ही नहीं बनता.
No, BC member.
Yes, that's
Because,
what. So if
huh,
all the members you are saying that, okay, let me ask you another question. Why, let us say this is x-axis,
okay.
and this is y-axis. Just tell me why you didn't list delta by, delta cy, delta bx, and delta cx separately. Do you understand my question? What is delta by? Delta by is deformation at B in vertical direction. Delta bx is deformation at B itself but in horizontal direction. Delta cy is deformation at C in vertical direction. Delta cx is deformation in horizontal direction. Why have you not explicitly listed all these four?
Because members are not.
Not even others can answer. You have to just unmute yourself and answer the question. Are you trying to say that the members are inextensible?
Yes.
Okay. So if member AB is inextensible and if it is going to exhibit BY, then that inextensibility will not be considered and therefore we neglect delta BY. Sahi hai? That's what you
Yes.
are trying to say? Yes. So delta BY gone. What about delta CY? As the member CD is inextensible, we ignore delta CY. Otherwise, it is going to be either expansion or contraction if we allow
Yes.
for delta cy. Now, what about delta bx and delta cx? Let us say B also goes towards right by amount 10 mm and C also goes towards right by 10 mm. So BC has still maintained its inextensibility or incompressibility. Do you agree with
Yes.
me? B also has moved by 10 mm towards right. C also has moved by 10 mm. So therefore, only and only when delta Bx is equal to delta Cx, which is denoted by delta here, then and then only inextensibility or incompressibility of BC is maintained. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, on that pretext, we have only taken delta and we understand that delta is transverse to member AB and CD and it is along member BC. And delta BX and delta CX both are same.
Yes.
These two are same. Okay. So far so good. We have understood how do we write degree of kinematic indeterminacy. But what I'm trying to ask you is, what do you understand by degree of kinematic indeterminacy? Okay, let us begin with the simpler question. What do you understand by degree of static indeterminacy? How do you compute degree of static indeterminacy?
If the structure is not cannot be determined by the fx fym, then it is also in
No. So we have to be precise. What it means is, if number of unknowns in the structure cannot be merely determined by using equations of equilibrium, then we say the structure is statically indeterminate. Am I very clear?
yes,
So we have number of unknowns. If all these unknowns, and we have number of equations, those are called as equations of equilibrium. If unknowns are greater than number of equations of equilibrium, we will not be able to determine all the unknowns merely by using these equations. Such structures, we classify them as statically indeterminate structures. Do you agree with me?
yes.
And how do we define degree of static indeterminacy? It is fairly easy. How do we define it? We define it this way: number of additional equations to equations of equilibrium that you need to cast to solve for all the unknowns under consideration. This is called as degree of static indeterminacy. देखो हर एक लफ्ज को मीनिंग है. The number of additional equations that you need to cast in order to solve for all the unknowns in the structure apart from equations of equilibrium is called as degree of static indeterminacy. Am I very clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, just to have a grip on it, let us try and calculate it here. So can you tell me what are the unknowns in this frame? This is rigid jointed frame. So how many unknowns are there? Are reactions unknowns? Yes.
Yes.
So the first set of unknowns is reactions. Can you tell me how many reactions are possible here?
6.
Only, and what are they? Can you tell me?
fx.
So at A, horizontal
A.
reaction, so I will
Yes.
call it as HA. Am I
HA.
very clear? HA, VA,
MA.
and moment at A.
Yes.
These are the three reactions that are unknowns at A. What are the reactions that are unknown at D? HD, VD, and moment at D. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, series of small questions. HA is in which direction?
Horizontal direction.
No, XY is
X.
mentioned
X.
there. It is in
X.
X direction. Am I right?
Yes.
HD is in which direction? X
X.
direction.
Yes.
VA is in which direction?
Y.
Y. BD is in which direction?
Y.
MA is in which direction?
Z.
Now that's quite a question. What is the direction of MA? So it is given by right hand thumb rule. So if you keep fingers of your right hand curled around the reaction, so let us say reaction at A is this way. So keep all of you perform this experiment. Keep fingers of your right hand curled in the direction of movement. So your thumb will point outside the board towards you. Am I correct? Samay?
Huh?
If you keep fingers of your right hand curled in the direction of this MA, then the thumb will come perpendicular to the board towards you. Is it correct?
Yes.
That thumb indicates the direction of this movement.
Okay.
So what is the direction of this movement? Whether it is anti-clockwise or clockwise, it will be either coming towards you or going in. So what is the direction? Z?
Yes.
So we have to understand this HA and SD, they are in X direction. VA and VD, they are in Y direction. And direction of MA and MD is either positive or negative Z. Are you with me?
Yes.
So now the fascinating point that you must observe, even if this frame is subjected to in-plane loading, That means even if the loading is in XY plane, still you have moment reactions which have Z direction.
Yes.
Are you able to get this point?
Yes.
Okay. Now imagine that this frame is subjected to 3D loading. So कौन से reactions आएंगे जरा बताओ. HAVAB होगा and you will have horizontal reaction in Z direction as well. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
At A. Similarly, you will have moment at A about x-axis, about y-axis, and about z-axis.
Yes.
So total 6 reactions at A and total 6 reactions at B. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So we have to understand whether we are talking about a planar problem or whether we are talking about a 3D problem. Accordingly, the answer to the question how many reactions are unknown will vary.
Okay.
So right now we are considering a case of 2D problem where all the members they do lie in XY plane and loading also lies in XY plane.
Okay.
Are you with me? Samay?
Yes. Hello.
Oh, yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So we have found out this reaction. Our focus is on calculation of degree of static indeterminacy. Now tell me, what are the other unknowns? Are only reactions to be taken as unknowns? सिर्फ reaction unknown है या कुछ और भी है?
Internal.
Yes. So therefore, let us say I give cut at 3 locations. This is location number 1, this is location number 2, and this is location number 3. How many cuts I have given? 3 cuts. Why 3 cuts? I am cutting at one location in each of the members.
Okay.
जितने members है उतने cut दिए. Why do I give that cut? The moment I give the cut, the internal forces will be exposed.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Correct. Now, tell me, if I give a cut here, so, and let me draw the free body diagram of only this part, lower part. Are you able to see my cursor?
Yes.
So, I will draw the free body diagram of all the frame below section 1-1. So, how does this free body diagram look like? So, you are going to have 3 reactions here. Those we have denoted already as VA, HA, and MA. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, at this junction, I have to show what remaining frame is doing at B on this part. So here also you are going to have 3 unknowns. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
As it is the 2D case. So you are going to have 3 unknowns. I have shown their directions randomly. The directions will come out of the analysis. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
What should I call this reaction as? Is it bending moment? Dekho.
Yes.
It is bending moment at a section. What should I call this reaction as? Is it shear force?
Yes.
What should I call this reaction as? Is it axial force?
Yes.
So if I give one cut in a member in a 2D structure, 3 actions, internal actions are going to get exposed. And what are those 3 actions? Those 3 actions are axial force, shear force, and bending moment. Do you agree with me? Okay. If it is the 3D case, तो जरा बताओ कितने actions expose होंगे? If it is 3D loading case, then you have one axial force, you will have 2 shear forces, one in this direction, one coming out of the plane of bore. And you will have two bending moments, one about this axis, then another about y-axis, and another about
Z-axis.
z-axis, and about y-axis will be twisting moment. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So in 3D case, these 3 internal unknowns will change to 6 internal unknowns. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. We are now considering only 2D case. So I am now listing down the list of unknowns. So let me list down what are the unknowns. So we have listed down the reactions. Now let us list down member forces. So what are how many member actions or member forces are unknowns? Tell me. So there are total 3 members. In each member, I have 3 unknowns. कौन-कौन से? Axial force, shear force. Do you agree? And
Yes.
bending moment.
Yes.
Apart from Samay, is everyone else understanding what I am trying to say? Please type your response in the chat box. Then I will proceed. Please type your response. I am waiting for your response. Raghav says yes. Vedant says yes. Puneet says yes. Okay. What about Manjushri? Are you able to understand? Yeah. Okay. So let us move ahead. So जितने member होंगे, हर एक member में we are going to have in 2D case 3 unknowns. So therefore, what is the number of unknowns that we are going to have? 3 times the number of members in rigid jointed 2D frames. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So let me write down the total number of unknowns. So how many are the total number of unknowns? How do I write it? In the equation form. So here unknowns are total number of reactions plus for 2D rigid jointed frame, it will be 3 times number of members. Agreed?
Yes.
Now let us try to find out how many equations of equilibrium do we have. Equations of equilibrium. चलो, so we will refer to again the same free body diagram. हमने सिर्फ ये free body diagram बनाया है. Do you agree with me? ये free body diagram बनाया था हमने. This is axial force, this is shear force. यहाँ पे भी you are going to have 3 unknowns. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
This is the free body diagram. कौन से पार्ट का है? सिर्फ लोअर वाले पार्ट का. Do you
Yes.
agree with me? Okay. Now I can make second free body diagram of only this much part. बना सकता हूं कि नहीं? सिर्फ इतने पार्ट का.
Okay.
I can make another free body diagram of only this much part. Do you agree?
Okay.
And then I can make free body diagram of this much part. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, just observe what I am trying to say. For each of this diagram, if it is 2D case, how many equations of equilibrium do make sense? 3. Summation fx equal to 0, summation fy equal to 0, and summation of moment of all the forces at any point about z axis must be equal to 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So each of this part is going to lead to 3 equations of equilibrium. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So how many total equations of equilibrium are there? 3 times.
3.
If it is 2D case, it is 3 times number of parts that I divide the structure into by giving a cut in each of the members. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And how many such parts are there in this case? 4. Do you agree? Samay?
One. Yes.
So 1,
2,
2,
3, 4.
3, 4. Now, each part contains how many joints? Only one. Dekho,
Yes.
if you consider this part, it contains only one joint. If I consider this part, it contains only one joint. This part will contain only one joint, and this part will contain only one joint. So can I safely say, instead of number of parts, can I say it as number of joints?
Yes.
So dekho, how many equations of equilibrium are available for a 2D rigid jointed frame? 3 times number of joints.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
And what do you understand by joint? Joint is the place where you have free end, or you have support, or where two members of different inclinations meet. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are going to come up with the expression for degree of static indeterminacy. And what is that expression? Let me write it down. So degree of static indeterminacy is total degree of static indeterminacy is given as ds, which is equal to, for 2D rigid jointed frame, number of unknowns are m, 3m plus r. These are number of unknowns. Do you agree?
Yes.
minus number of equations available for 2D rigid jointed. Mind you, I am discussing everything of this only in the context of 2D rigid jointed frame. If you start providing internal hinge or you start making this frame as pin jointed, things are going to change. The way in which number of unknowns and number of equations are calculated are going to change. If you make this system as 3D loading system, things are going to change. The way in which I calculate unknowns is going to change. The way in which I calculate number of equations available is going to change. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So in this 2D rigid jointed frame, how many equations of equilibrium are available? 3 times J. And then comes this well celebrated formula which you must have mugged up till now. Do you know this formula?
Yes.
So it is 3m plus r minus 3j only for 2D rigid jointed frame.
Yes.
If it is 3D rigid jointed frame, what should I do?
6m plus r minus 6j.
It is 6m plus r minus 6j. At every joint, for every part, you will be able to apply 6 equations of equilibrium. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So let us calculate this degree of static indeterminacy for this frame. Now it's easy. It is 3 times 3 plus number of reactions. How many reactions are there? 6 minus 3 times number of joints. How many number of joints are there? 4. How many joints are there? 4. So 3 3s are 9. 9 plus 6, 15. 15 minus 12. So degree of static indeterminacy is 3. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. तो डिग्री ऑफ स्टैटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी कैलकुलेट करना वैसे आसान काम था. हमें क्या करना था? वी मस्ट फाइंड आउट हाउ मेनी अननोन्स आर देयर. वी मस्ट फाइंड आउट हाउ मेनी इक्वेशंस ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम आर अवेलेबल. द डिस्क्रिपेंसी बिटवीन द टू इज डिग्री ऑफ स्टैटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
अब एक बार मैं फिर से आई विल रीइटरेट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ डिग्री ऑफ स्टैटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी. Degree of static indeterminacy of a structure is surplus equations that you need to cast over and above equations of equilibrium to solve for all the unknowns. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now इसी धरती पे, इसी तर्ज पे मुझे आप डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी का डेफिनेशन जो आपको पता है वो बताओ. What do you understand by degree of kinematic indeterminacy?
Total number of possible joint displacements taking place due to applied loads.
Great. Who is speaking?
Vikram.
Hello, who is speaking?
Vikram.
Vikram. Okay, Vikram, you are absolutely right. It is number of total displacements at joints that can occur. But ये बात कुछ हजम नहीं हुई. जैसे स्टैटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी हमें समझ में आया था. Static indeterminacy is number of extra equations than equations of equilibrium that I need to cast to solve for unknown. तो इसमें दो तीन चीजें थी. देखो क्या चीजें हैं. एक तो इक्वेशन ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम से ज्यादा इक्वेशंस कास्ट करनी है. ये एक पर्सपेक्टिव क्लियर था. दैट इज फर्स्ट थिंग. सेकंड वन वाज एम वाज क्लियर. मुझे क्या करना है? आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट ऑल द अननोन्स. So I will do this jugglery. I will cast additional equations. The aim was clear. What we have to do was clear. लेकिन if you try telling me that degree of kinematic indeterminacy is number of joint displacements that are possible, I will ask you, why should I do this? Do you understand the basic difference between two definitions? Why should I find out degree? Why should I do that? Why should I find out joint displacements? ये तो definition से clear नहीं हुआ. Okay, so I will put the definition of degree of kinematic indeterminacy in more precise and different way. Degree of kinematic indeterminacy of a structure is defined as minimum number of, देखो minimum पहला word, minimum number of independent displacement coordinates. दूसरे दो वर्ड्स, एक इंडिपेंडेंट और तीसरा वर्ड है डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट्स. डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट्स। फिर से बताता हूँ, पहले पार्ट स्टेटमेंट का। डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी इज डिफाइंड एज मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ independent displacement coordinates that you must specify in order to completely draw the deformed shape or elastic curve of the structure। देखो, completely draw, क्या ड्रॉ करना है? डिफॉर्म शेप, और उसको ही बोला जाता है इलास्टिक कर्व। डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी इज मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ independent displacement coordinates that are required to completely specify elastic deformed shape of the structure under consideration। Am I very clear?
Yeah.
What have I added in the definition than just merely specifying degree of kinematic indeterminacy is joint displacements? क्या ऐड किया है मैंने? अच्छा, in this entire definition anywhere have I tossed the term joint?
No.
नहीं किया। देखो, the first thing that you must observe that we have to deviate from traditional mucked up definitions given in books is joint ये word degree of kinematic indeterminacy में कहीं भी specify नहीं किया है। First thing. Second, I have added certain descriptors। क्या descriptors add किए हैं मैंने? minimum number of। What are the descriptors? minimum number of। लेकिन कैसे वाले? independent displacement coordinates। तीसरा वर्ड ऐड किया displacement coordinate to completely define, and then I have added a purpose। देखो, डिग्री ऑफ स्टैटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी हमने किस लिए डिफाइन किया था? so that I can find out all the internal actions। ये उसका एम था, सही है ना? उसी तर्ज पे what is the aim of finding out degree of kinematic indeterminacy? The aim is that we should be able to specify the deformed shape of the structure under given loading। समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
हाँ, अब बेसिक डिफरेंस देखो। इन योर बीटेक क्लास यू हैव लर्नड two methods of structural analysis। one is force method, another is displacement method। do you agree with me?
Yes.
दो मेथड्स किए थे। तो फोर्स मेथड में आप क्या कैलकुलेट करते थे? फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मैट्रिक्स मेथड। सबसे पहला स्टेप क्या रहता था? कैलकुलेशन ऑफ डिग्री ऑफ स्टैटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी।
Yes.
सही है? हाँ, तो उसमें आपका एम क्या था? प्राइमरी एम क्या था? प्राइमरी एम वाज टू ड्रॉ एसएफडी एंड बीएमडी। डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
हाँ, और आप उतना ही ड्रॉ करके वही रुक जाते थे। हैव यू एवर ड्रॉन डिस्प्लेस्ड शेप और डिफॉर्म शेप बाय फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मेथड? कभी नहीं।
No.
डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मेथड, मैट्रिक्स मेथड से स्ट्रक्चर सॉल्व करने के बाद व्हाट वाज द आउटकम? द आउटकम वाज ओनली एसएफडी एंड बीएमडी ऑफ ऑल द मेंबर्स। आई होप यू एग्री विथ मी।
Yes.
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 अब जरा याद करो, स्लोप डिफ्लेक्शन मेथड, स्टिफनेस मैट्रिक्स मेथड, इसमें आप स्टार्ट कैसे करते थे? यू यूज्ड टू टेक डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी।
Yes.
सबसे पहले आपको मिलता क्या था? एसएफडी, बीएमडी या थीटा ए, थीटा बी, थीटा सी एंड डेल्टा? पहले तो मिलता था थीटा ए, थीटा बी, थीटा सी एंड डेल्टा। डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
हाँ, तो इसका मतलब है द प्राइमरी एम ऑफ योर एनालिसिस वाज फाइंडिंग आउट जॉइंट डिस्प्लेसमेंट्स।
Yes.
बाद में आप कुछ तो वो स्लोप डिफ्लेक्शन इक्वेशन यूज करो या स्टिफनेस मैट्रिक्स इक्वेशन यूज करो, उससे आप एसएफडी बीएमडी निकालते थे। दैट वाज द सेकेंडरी आउटकम ऑफ slope deflection and stiffness matrix method। primary outcome was specifying theta b, theta c, delta। do you agree with me?
Yes.
okay, then SFD BMD ड्रॉ करने के बाद आप एक इलास्टिक शेप भी निकालते थे। do you remember that?
Yes.
हम SFD BMD निकाल के स्टिफनेस मैट्रिक्स का और स्लोप डिफ्लेक्शन मेथड का प्रॉब्लम वैसे ही छोड़ नहीं देते थे। उसके आगे हम एक स्टेप और था, जो था ड्राइंग इलास्टिक कर्व। डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
हाँ, तो देखो दोनों मेथड्स में बेसिक डिफरेंस ये है। द फर्स्ट मेथड which uses degree of static indeterminacy as number of unknowns aims for drawing only SFD and BLD and हो सके तो axial force diagram and twisting moment diagram, but it never talked about the deformed shape of the structure. The moment you switch to displacement methods of analysis, your primary unknowns became displacements, and your aim was to draw elastic deformed shape of the structure. The
Yes.
side consequence or side effects or advantages which are prevalent where you could also draw SFD and BA. Now we have placed the definition in its correct format, but we have not yet understood the exact meaning of minimum, independent and displacement coordinates. Do you agree?
Yes.
अगर ये तीन वर्ड का हमें अच्छी तरह से मतलब समझ में आए तो हम समझेंगे डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी अच्छी तरह से समझा है. Why are we hell bent on understanding degree of kinematic indeterminacy to such a rigor? The reason is very simple, because that is going to be the starting point of any finite element formulation. See in the next parts of the lectures that the first and foremost thing that we do is we talk about degree of freedom in finite element method. Degree of finite freedom is slightly different than degree of kinematic indeterminacy. In today's class we will also define that, but let us first define what do we mean by degree of kinematic indeterminacy in greater resolution. So chalo dekho, what is minimum, what is independent and what is displacement coordinates? These are the three questions that I need to answer. Okay, so let us start with the easiest one, displacement coordinate. What do you think? What do you mean by displacement coordinate? Samay?
Displacement occurring before and after.
So अब जरा ये देखो, we are considering a particular point on a structure. This is a point on structure. You have to understand this point may lie somewhere here. यहाँ का point है. I have just shown this point here. समझ में आ रहा है? यहाँ पे member BC is there. Are you able to see, understand what I am trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, question that I am going to ask is about this point. What are the various deformations that member BC can exhibit at this point? कौन से deformations यहाँ पे हो सकते हैं? तो जरा देखो, can this point translate in y direction?
No.
Yes. उसको हम बोलेंगे delta y. Do you agree with me?
Okay.
समझ?
Yes.
This point under the action of various load, can it translate in x direction? Yes. उसको हम delta x बोलेंगे. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Can this point rotate about z axis under the action of 2D loads in xy plane? Yes. उसको हम theta about z axis at this point बोलेंगे. Do you agree with me? समझ?
Okay.
Do you agree with me? The member BC at this point can rotate about z axis. I am going to call that rotation as theta z.
Yes.
Now, can this point move in z direction? In principle, yes, but as we are considering with 2D case, no. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Can this point rotate about z axis, about y axis? Yes, in principle, yes, but as it is 2D case, no. Can it rotate about x axis so that it is twisted? BC member is twisted, yes, but as it is 2D load case, no. Do you understand what I am trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, so in 2D loading system for a 2D frame, this point can have three types of deformations. It is randomly picked up point on the frame. कौन सा भी एक point ले लो, उसमें कौन से deformations possible है? तो possible delta x है, delta y है और theta z है. Do you agree with me? अब जरा A का पॉइंट देखो और D का पॉइंट देखो. A एंड D के जगह पे ये तीनों डिफॉर्मेशंस रिस्ट्रिक्टेड है. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
But in general, if I pick any point on this structure, these three deformations are possible. Do you agree with me? तो इनको बोला जाता है डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट. क्या बोलेंगे इसको? डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट. Do you understand what do I mean by displacement coordinate
Okay.
at a point? तो
Yes.
डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट कौन से हो सकते हैं? या तो वो ट्रांसलेशन हो सकता है या तो रोटेशन हो सकता है. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
ओके. ट्रांसलेशन एक्स वाई जेड डायरेक्शंस में इन जनरल हो सकते हैं. रोटेशंस भी एक्स वाई जेड एक्सिस के अबाउट इन जनरल हो सकते हैं.
Yes.
Okay, great. So if you have understood this, now what do we mean by independent displacement coordinates? देखो, independent displacement coordinates का मतलब क्या है, ये जरा मैं आपको समझाने की कोशिश करता हूं. Let me try to explain what do I mean by independent displacement coordinate. अब जरा देखो, ये जो मेंबर है, let me say it is the member of a truss. किसका मेंबर है? ट्रस का. समझ आ रही देयर?
Yes.
सो ट्रस के जगह पे जरा मुझे बताओ, कैन दिस मेंबर बी सब्जेक्टेड टू बेंडिंग मोमेंट? नो. ट्रस है ना, तो बेंडिंग मोमेंट नहीं होगा.
Yes.
शियर फोर्स नहीं होगा. एक्सियल फोर्स हाँ जरूर होगा. समझ में आ रहा है? तो
Yes.
लेट अस से this, let me call this node as 2, this node as 1. So after the all forces acting on a truss, this 2 has moved, this point 2 has moved at this location. कौन से लोकेशन पे मूव हुआ है? इस लोकेशन पे मूव हुआ है, 2 डैश. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Okay.
एंड 1 हैज मूव्ड समवेयर हियर, ऐसे मूव हुआ है, एंड दैट पोजीशन इज 1 डैश. I am going to call this position as 1 dash. 1 dash 2 dash is the new position of member.
Okay.
अब जरा मुझे बताओ, at point 2 how many displacements have occurred of member AB, of member 1 2? member 1 2 के कितने डिस्प्लेसमेंट 2 के यहां हुए हैं? Has it moved in x direction? Yes.
Yes.
Has it moved in y direction? Yes.
Yes.
Has it rotated?
No.
No.
Why no? It has. If this is theta, this is no longer theta, this is alpha. Do you agree with me?
Okay.
रोटेट तो हुआ है ना. अगर डेल्टा एक्स एट 2 and delta x at 1 are same and delta y at 2 and delta y at 1 are same, then only the rotation has not occurred, but that is not necessary.
Okay.
Are you able to understand what I am trying to say?
Okay.
So now what is independent? Let me try and answer that. Though this member has rotated at 2 dash, I can express that alpha in terms of delta x, delta y at 2 and 1. Do you agree with me? It is simple geometry. If I know delta x and delta y at 2, if I know delta x and delta y at 1, I will be able to express alpha.
Okay.
And theta minus alpha is the rotation that has occurred at 2 dash. But it is not independent displacement coordinate. It depends on delta x and delta y at 1 and 2. समझ में आया?
Okay.
हाँ, तो इंडिपेंडेंट डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट का मतलब यह है कि सिर्फ उतने ही कोऑर्डिनेट स्पेसिफाई करो जिसकी वैल्यू एक दूसरे के ऊपर से कैलकुलेट नहीं की जा सकती. आई कैनॉट कैलकुलेट डेल्टा एक्स एट 2 बाय नोइंग डेल्टा वाई एट 2 और डेल्टा एक्स एंड डेल्टा वाई एट 1. नहीं हो सकता. बट आई कैन वेरी वेल कैलकुलेट थीटा माइनस अल्फा एट 2 बाय नोइंग डेल्टा एक्स एंड डेल्टा वाई एट 1 and 2.
Yes.
समझ में आ रहा है? So have you understood what I mean by independent displacement coordinate?
Yes.
तो इसमें हम कौन से कोऑर्डिनेट्स लेंगे? सिर्फ डेल्टा एक्स डेल्टा वाई एट 2 एंड डेल्टा एक्स एंड डेल्टा वाई एट 1, इतने ही लेंगे. वी विल नॉट कंसीडर थीटा.
Okay.
एग्री विथ मी?
Okay.
चलो अब जरा यहाँ पे देखो, और एक चीज बताऊंगा जिससे ये पॉइंट एकदम क्रिस्टल क्लियर हो जाएगा. Now imagine that this is the member of rigid jointed frame. अब जरा देखो, इसका डिफॉर्मेशन ऐसे हुआ है. This member is A, B. अब जरा मुझे बताओ, theta at B, can it be evaluated knowing delta x and delta y at B? नहीं.
No.
समझ में आ रहा है क्या? देखो, because this delta has not occurred in a linear way, this member has not rotated as a rigid body rotation. Therefore, अब यहाँ का जो theta है, the angle that tangent makes with horizontal, that cannot be now expressed as a function of delta x. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
हाँ, तो इस केस में थीटा और डेल्टा एक्स ये दोनों इंडिपेंडेंट हो गए.
Yes.
So for rigid jointed frames, if you remember, at a joint we used to consider theta b and delta, theta and delta both. Whereas if it is truss, we used to only consider delta x and delta y. याद आ रहा है आपको? At least धुंधला धुंधला सा.
Yes.
हाँ, so therefore we are going to consider only independent displacement coordinates in calculating the degree of kinematic indeterminacy. तो अब तक हमने दो वर्ड्स का मीनिंग समझ लिया. कौन कौन से? एक इंडिपेंडेंट, दूसरा व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट, अब तीसरा मिनिमम. हाँ, तो अब जरा देखो व्हाट डू वी अंडरस्टैंड बाय मिनिमम. तो चलो देखो जरा, ये कैंटिलीवर बीम है. दिस इज ए कैंटिलीवर बीम. इट इज सब्जेक्टेड टू फोर्स P and you know the deformation delta here. यहाँ का deformation delta पता है. Can you calculate deformation delta at any other location? समय
हाँ.
कर सकते हैं ना? हाँ, कर सकते हैं भाई, क्योंकि डेल्टा का हमारे पास इक्वेशन है.
Yes.
So in that equation I will just substitute this value x. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
And I will be able to find out delta. So if I know this delta, in that equation for delta, I will substitute the value of x as this x. I will be able to find out delta here.
Yes.
हाँ, तो ये है मतलब मिनिमम का. अब जरा देखो, on this beam, how many points are available? Infinite. At every point, how many displacements are possible? 3. So how many displacements are in general possible here? Displacement coordinates कितने हैं in general? Infinite points के 3 deformations each point. तो infinite displacement coordinates are possible. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
लेकिन डिफॉर्म शेप फाइंड आउट करने के लिए हमें सिर्फ ये डेल्टा चाहिए. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So what is minimum number of deformed independent displacement coordinates I will require to specify the complete deformed shape? Only delta.
Okay.
Do you agree with me?
Okay.
Possibly theta, of course. Theta here. Theta and delta, if they are known, at any location, I will be able to calculate theta and delta.
हाँ.
तो देखो फिर से एक बार रिविजिट करते हैं. Minimum number of independent displacement coordinates required to completely specify the deformed shape of the structure is called as degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Are you with me?
Yes.
हाँ, अब इसमें एक लास्ट पॉइंट दैट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू. डेफिनेशन तो समझा, पर्पस तो समझा, लेकिन कैलकुलेट कैसे करना है वो नहीं समझा. जॉइंट जब तक मैं टर्म टॉस नहीं करता तो आपको कैलकुलेट कैसे करें डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिपेंडेंस ये नहीं समझेगा. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
हाँ, तो अब जरा देखो, आई एम गोइंग टू नाउ गिविंग यू द प्रोसीजर टू कैलकुलेट डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिपेंडेंस. कैसे करना है डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिपेंडेंस कैलकुलेट? तो पहले तो स्ट्रक्चर में कितने जॉइंट है वो आइडेंटिफाई करो. व्हाट इज जॉइंट? जॉइंट का मतलब ये है कि सपोर्ट या फिर फ्री एंड. अगर फ्री एंड है तो भी आप उसको जॉइंट पकड़ोगे, सपोर्ट है तो भी आप उसको जॉइंट पकड़ोगे. आर यू विथ मी?
Okay.
सो जॉइंट इंक्लूड्स फ्री एंड, जॉइंट इंक्लूड्स सपोर्ट. तो इसमें से देखो, ये सपोर्ट का ए एंड डी दे आर डेफिनेटली जॉइंट्स. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
It also includes the location where two or more members meet. Two or more members meet. तो B and C भी जॉइंट में आ गए.
Yes.
समझ में आ रहा है? और क्या है? It also includes the location where there is change of EI. EI is flexural rigidity. तो अगर कहीं पे EI चेंज हो रहा है कॉलम के बीच में, तो हमें उस EI जहां पे चेंज हो रहा है उस पॉइंट को हमें जॉइंट कंसीडर करना पड़ेगा. Do you see? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
ऐसे क्यों करना पड़ेगा? क्योंकि अगर आप इन जगह पे डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैलकुलेट करते हो तो आप स्ट्रक्चर का डिफॉर्म शेप पूरी तरीके से ड्रॉ कर पाओगे. Therefore, we qualify all such things where we need to calibrate the deformation to specify deformation of entire structure as joints. समझ में आ रहा है? हेलो
Yes.
समय.
Yeah.
जॉइंट
Yes.
मतलब क्या है बताओ? फ्री एंड सपोर्ट,
Support.
जहां पे टू और मेंबर्स मीट होता है वो वाला लोकेशन, या फिर चेंज ऑफ ईआई वाला लोकेशन.
Okay.
समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
हाँ. तो अब मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूं, ये अगर आपको समझा है तो जरा मुझे बताओ. इफ देयर इज ए टेपरिंग बीम, जैसे छज्जा रहता है ना टेपरिंग स्लैब, वैसे टेपरिंग बीम भी रह सकता है. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
आपने कभी अगर साइकिल स्टैंड के शेड्स देखे होंगे तो उसमें टेपरिंग बीम भी रहता है, कैंटिलीवर बीम. इट
Yes.
इमर्जेस फ्रॉम सेंट्रल कॉलम.
Yes.
तो टेपरिंग बीम में जॉइंट कितने होंगे?
Infinite, क्योंकि
इनफाइनाइट, बिकॉज ईआई इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम पॉइंट टू पॉइंट.
Yes.
समझा? इसीलिए आज तक आपने ऐसा कौन सा भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं किया जिसमें द मेंबर वाज टेपरिंग.
Yes.
लेकिन ये प्रॉब्लम हम एफईएम से सॉल्व कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि एफईएम में हमें जॉइंट्स के ऊपर कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है.
Okay.
सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड हम जॉइंट किसको बोल रहे हैं. फ्री सपोर्ट, फ्री एंड सपोर्ट, टू और मेंबर्स मीटिंग और चेंज ऑफ ईआई, इन सब पॉइंट्स को हम जॉइंट बोलेंगे. और दो जॉइंट्स के बीच में ईआई चेंज नहीं होगा, ये उसका इम्प्लिसिट असम्पशन है.
Okay.
समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
ना. सो वी हैव डिफाइंड जॉइंट. तो जॉइंट डिफाइन किया, आगे क्या? तो हर एक जॉइंट के यहाँ कितने डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट्स पॉसिबल है वो लिस्ट करते जाओ, और सारे डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट्स का समेशन इज डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी. तो चलो करते जाते हैं. एट ए, हाउ इज थीटा ए पॉसिबल? नो.
No.
इज डेल्टा ए पॉसिबल? नो. एट डी, इज थीटा डी पॉसिबल? नो.
No.
एट डी, इज डेल्टा डी पॉसिबल? नो. सपोर्टिव ऐसा है. एट बी, इज थीटा पॉसिबल? यस, थीटा बी पॉसिबल. अच्छा, थीटा बी ए और थीटा बी से बी सी अलग अलग हो सकते हैं क्या?
No.
नहीं हो सकते, क्योंकि स्ट्रक्चर रिजिड जॉइंटेड है.
Yes.
स्ट्रक्चर रिजिड जॉइंटेड है, इसलिए थीटा बी ए मस्ट बी इक्वल टू थीटा बी सी, एंड देयरफॉर हम उसको सिर्फ एक ही बोलेंगे, थीटा बी. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
Then theta c is possible. Is delta possible at B in y direction? No, क्योंकि वो एक्शियल फोर्स हो जाए, एक्शियल एक्सटेंशन या कॉम्प्रेशन हो जाएगा. एक्शियल इनएक्सटेंसिबिलिटी हम कंसीडर कर रहे हैं, so delta by is not possible, delta cy is not possible. Delta bx and delta cx is possible only under the condition that they are same.
Yes.
हाँ, तो तीसरा डिफॉर्मेशन कौन सा होगा? डेल्टा. तो जॉइंट के यहाँ पे थीटा बी के यहाँ भी डेल्टा, सी के यहाँ भी डेल्टा, तो उसको अलग अलग काउंट नहीं करेंगे, एक ही काउंट करेंगे. डू यू एग्री?
Yes.
हाँ, तो क्या करना है, किसी भी रिजिड जॉइंटेड या पिन जॉइंटेड स्ट्रक्चर में पहले जॉइंट आइडेंटिफाई करो. ऑफ कोर्स इन दिस जॉइंट यू विल आल्सो हैव इंटरनल हिंज, इसमें इंटरनल हिंज भी आएगा. तो जॉइंट मतलब
Yes.
कौन कौन सा है? फ्री सपोर्ट, हिंज सपोर्ट, इंटरनल हिंज, टू और मोर मेंबर्स मीटिंग और चेंज ऑफ ईआई. समझ में आ रहा है? हर एक जॉइंट के यहाँ कितने डिस्प्लेसमेंट कोऑर्डिनेट्स पॉसिबल है उनको लिस्ट करते जाओ, सबका एडिशन करो, वो हो जाएगा डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी. अगर आप वो डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी कैसे भी उसकी वैल्यू और सेंस फाइंड आउट करते हो, तो सारे स्ट्रक्चर का डिफॉर्म शेप आप ड्रॉ कर सकते हो. Am I very clear?
Yes.
Have you understood what is degree of काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी?
Yes.
हाँ, अब उसका ही एक स्मॉलर वर्जन, सॉरी मॉडिफाइड वर्जन, डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम, ये हम डिफाइन करेंगे, एंड देन वी विल स्टॉप टुडे फॉर टुडे. सो वी विल नाउ डिफाइन व्हाट इज डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम. तो डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम at a point is defined as number of displacement coordinates, independent displacement coordinates possible at a point. बहुत सिमिलर है. डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम, इस पॉइंट का डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम कितना है? तो थीटा है, डेल्टा है, दो डेल्टा है, डेल्टा एक्स, डेल्टा वाई एंड थीटा. डू यू एग्री विथ मी? This point can move down, this point can move towards right, and under the action of 2D load it can have rotation. तो degree of freedom कितना हुआ? P.
3.
समझ में आ रहा है? हाँ.
Yes.
So what is degree of kinematic indeterminacy? Degree of kinematic indeterminacy is sum of degrees of freedom at joints.
Okay.
डिग्री ऑफ काइनेमेटिक इंडिटरमिनेसी का मतलब है पहले जॉइंट्स को पहचानो, हर एक जॉइंट का डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम निकालो, उन डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम्स का सम करो, सिर्फ जॉइंट्स के यहाँ का, उसको हम बोलेंगे डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
लेकिन अगर इफ आई चूज टू डिवाइड दिस बीम इनटू 3 पार्ट्स and if I am interested in finding out deformation at each of these nodes, so my total degree of freedom of a structure may vary than degree of kinematic indeterminacy. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
If I am interested in finding out deformations here and here as well as primary outcomes, then my degree of freedom may be different than the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the structure. ये थोड़ा सा सटल डिफरेंस है. समझ में आ रहा है? The degree of kinematic indeterminacy is summation of degrees of freedom at joints. Am I very clear?
Yes.
Let us stop for today. Thank you for attending.